up, guys? So today, instead of doing a project in the shop, I got to come up to Riverside, and I'm trading somebody actually for some car parts. So while I was doing that, I still wanted to make a video today, and I figured it was a good opportunity to do an update and a cost breakdown of everything we've done on this car so far. I know that I always find that really helpful, and I enjoy seeing videos like that of other people when they build a car. I want to know, you know, how much money they put into all the little things, and it just helps you get an idea of what you're looking at if you want to build a similar car. So the first thing I wanted to cover in this was the cost of the car itself. So I bought this car for 1,900 bucks, guys, and that is, I think, a fair price for what I got. This car isn't in that great a shape, but it only had 150,000 miles on it when I bought it, and it had a lot of aftermarket parts on it that I was able to pull off and sell, and it even had those special edition BBS wheels. So let's I'll just give a quick breakdown of that stuff. I sold the viscous limited slip that was in here already. I sold the BBS wheels. It came with the tonneau and soft top cover, and I sold that stuff. And what else? There's a bunch of other little things. It had that ancient turbo kit on it when I bought it too, and I pulled that stuff off, and it had a little timing box and a fuel pressure regulator and all that. So I sold all that stuff, and for buying the car for 1,900 bucks, after I sold that, I'm now down to only $900 into the car, which isn't bad. I basically bought this car for $900 since I was selling that stuff anyways. So I think that's pretty good. At least for me, this is part of my build, buying the car. So I'm gonna keep that included in this cost lineup, and then we'll go through at the end and I'll take the cost of the car off just to see how much it would be like if you wanted to add everything onto your Miata. So let's go through all the stuff we've done so far. First thing on the list is I put in this aftermarket steering wheel. For me, this is a requirement because I'm a bigger guy, and the stock Miata wheel rubs on the inside of my legs almost no matter where I put the seat in the car. So I really almost can't drive a Miata and have fun with it if it has the stock steering wheel in it still. So that in total was about $100. It was 90 bucks for the NRG quick release and $10 for the Boss Hub kit. And then I got this steering wheel for free as a gift. Shout out to Paul Markham, and I appreciate that. That was really awesome of you. But I'm gonna cost it into this as about $150. I think that's how much a wheel like this would cost if you got a decent one used. Brand new, it's about 200 to 250 bucks, I think. So item number 2, we did the Rev Limiter Gauges in this car, and that's another requirement for me being taller. I have trouble seeing the tops of the gauges, and these allow me to actually see what's going on and see the actual RPMs and miles an hour and all that on the gauges correctly. I still gotta dip my head a little bit if I want to see the oil pressure, which is a little bit annoying, but whatever. Anyways, those were $130, and also definitely worth it. They really look nice, and I enjoy having them in the car, and I like the backlight, and now they're red, so that always looks cool too. Item number 3, the first handling mod we did to this car, and that was the Flying Miata sway bars. A very easy, simple job that you can do with a friend in about an hour, hour and a half, and that was $230. Also an awesome mod, and it really makes a difference with the way the car drives. I love it. It's one of my favorite cheaper mods you can do to the car. Now item number 4, I did the Advanti Racing Storm S1 wheels. They're 15x8s, and those cost 500 bucks. Now on top of that, obviously I needed to get new tires too, and those were $400, but I don't think that that should count towards the total build of the car, because tires are a wear item and you need to replace them once in a while anyway. So this is kind of one of those mods that, you know, you can wait until your old tires are worn out like mine were, and then, you know, spring for the new wheels, and you needed new tires anyways. And those tires though were 400 bucks, in case you're curious, and these are the Nitto NT05s, which by the way, I do like a lot. For a 205 Miata tire, or 205 width Miata tire, they really do grip well, and they're a great price. They're only like 83 bucks a tire on onlinetires.com, so I recommend those. And with the wheels, we also did wheel studs, and those are about $100. I had them on my old car when I bought it, so I didn't have to buy those. But I believe those are $100, so I'll add that onto the cost list as well. So number 5, I also got the hardtop, and that was $900. And you know what, honestly, that was one of my things that I got that wasn't really that good of a buy. It kind of bums me out I spent that much for it, because I was looking for about 2.5 months and I could not find one. There wasn't any coming up for sale, And then as soon as I bought this one, like a week later, I saw 3 or 4 of them come through on the Facebook sale pages that were in way better shape than this one was. And they were about the same price, but whatever, that's in the past. I'm gonna be fixing this one. I'll paint it when I paint the car anyways, and I'll repair it then. But that was $900. So if you want a hardtop, you're looking at around $1,000 for one that's in decent shape. And then number 6, we did the OPL radiator in this car, and that is $100 about. It's a really good buy if you want to make an upgrade from stock and you don't want to spend $300 on the Koyo or the Mishimoto radiators, which are not bad. They're great radiators. But since I'm having to rebuild the whole car here, I'm trying to save money where I can. So we went with this OPL one, and then I've also got a Flying Miata fan shroud that I'm going to put on it when we do the turbo build too. But for now, I still run the stock ones. So at least for the moment, that's all that was $100 for this radiator. And this car stays cold. I have to say, I did take it the other day way up the mountains with a group of people and some Beamers, and we were having a lot of fun, and I was driving the car really, really hard for almost an hour straight. And this car did not get hot or anything. It stayed nice and cool. So at least I could say that the radiator does work well with the stock car, but we'll see how it works when I get the turbo in here and really start abusing it with that. Item number 7, we did the Torsen swap in this car. So I'm not going to count the fact that I just had to buy another carrier to put it in this car, because that old one I had broke in the accident. But generally speaking, Torsen swaps are $400 to $500 just for the differential itself, and then you still got to get axles and drive shaft. So when you add all that up for this car, that cost me about $630 for the drive shaft, axles, and the differential. So Torsen swap, $630. Number 8, we did Flying Miata frame rails in this car. And that's another project similar to the sway bars that I highly recommend to anybody that has a Miata. They really should have come from the factory this way. The car feels so much more solid and planted. When you lean into a corner and the suspension loads up, the car just feels more consistent. Before it felt like it would sway a little bit or flex around, and it just doesn't do that now. The car feels really well planted, even with these crappy stock shocks and some aftermarket lowering springs on it. The car really does handle a bit better and is easier to control just from putting in the frame rails. And those are $180, but that's another spot you can probably save money from me. I did not go with the butterfly brace. And if you don't want a butterfly brace, the V8 Roadsters website sells frame rails as well for $130, I believe it is, which is a really good price, and I highly recommend it. For $130, it makes a big difference. So for the past few months, that's everything so far. And the grand total, including the cost of buying this car for $900, is $3,820. So if you don't want to include the cost of my car on that, since this would be how much it would cost to add all this onto your car, the grand total of that is $2,920 I've spent so far. That's how much in aftermarket parts have been installed on this car so far. So $2,920 in additions in the car, and you know what? It sounds like a lot of money, but that's really not too bad. This car drives great. If that was your total budget, I might do some things differently. I'm really looking into getting coilovers on here soon, and I'm going to be putting some bigger brakes on soon as well. But for $2,900 into this car so far, you know, I really enjoy it. I like the hardtop in the car. I really like the wheels and tires I have. The Torsen's going to be great when I get the power. And that radiator, like I said, held up awesome when I was pushing the car, and it was over 100 degrees out. And it did fine. So, you know, for a car like this that you can have fun with, you can really beat on it, and you don't have to worry about it breaking or overheating as easily and stuff like that. It's pretty well sorted. If your total budget for the build is you know, less, you could save in places like where I'm doing the Torsen swap that might not be necessary. And the truth is, an open diff for the viscous limited slip, if I was only going for less than 200 horsepower or so, which is still a really fun Miata, by the way, it's a blast, I had one, but if that's all you're going for, you could really do a lot of this build cheaper than I've been doing it so far. I'm trying to do this in a somewhat budget-friendly way because I don't have a ton of money to just blow on it, but I want to have good parts, and I want to have good quality stuff on the car, and I want to be able to go out and have fun with it and beat on it every single day if I want to. I'm not going to beat on it every day, but but I want to be able to beat on it at a racetrack all day. I want to be able to go have fun in the canyons with it and not have to worry about things breaking or having this little problem after another from little things I have to trace down. The truth is, if it wasn't my main car that I drive every day that I want to be really solid and have fun with, you could save a lot of money in this. If this was like my second or third car that was just sitting around, I'd probably be doing stuff a lot cheaper, and I'd be trying out eBay parts and this and that. Just, you know, why not? See what happens. But if this is your main car, I think it's really important to make sure it's a solid car that's reliable. The last thing you want to do is spend a lot of time and money building your car and not doing it right, and then it keeps coming back and biting you in the butt later because you took shortcuts. And I don't want to do that. I really want to do this job right. So if you're curious about anything that I've done with this car so far, just drop a comment below. Also drop a comment if you liked the video and you liked hearing what I've been doing with the build so far. And I may as well give a quick rundown while I'm at it right now of future plans for the car. Obviously, I'm nowhere near done yet. I have tons of parts sitting on the floor over at Matt's shop there, and we're going to be doing a lot of stuff coming up really soon here. One of the next projects we're doing is a budget big brake kit. So bigger brakes with performance pads and rotors, but at the best price you can do that. We're going to be doing coilovers. We're going to be doing 1.8 swap very soon as well. That's a really good budget thing you can do. If your old 1.6 is tired, for several $100, you can update it to a 1.8 motor, and it gives you a nice boost in torque, a little bump in horsepower and displacement, and you can do that whole thing for about $600 or $700. And then we're going to be doing the Mega Squirt, and the Mega Squirt is an awesome mod. Along with that, we'll be doing a wideband O2 sensor. We're going to be doing a full turbo build. We still have more body and chassis bracing to put on the car, and there's just so many things that we're going to keep doing, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I really hope you guys stay tuned. Alright guys, if you like this video, drop a comment below, tell us your thoughts, and feel free to ask me any questions. I do my best to get back to you guys if I can. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you should definitely do that as well. We have a lot of big things going on with our channel. Building 2 Miatas, we've got a Jeep project that we're slowly working on as well. And when these Miatas are done, which they'll never be done, I'm sure we'll always be doing Miata stuff. But when they're mostly done, we have some really fun ideas for some other projects to do and some other series that we can do. And always, of course, feel free to ask us if you guys want to know how to do something, you want to see a fun, dumb project, let us know. And if we're able to, we will do our best to take it on. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good one and keep wrenching.